Hello, very warm welcome, and it's good afternoon from here. And I think some of us are joining where it's good morning and others where it's good evening. In fact, it would be lovely if you want to share where you're connecting from. And also very welcome to come into camera. This is like a nice chance to meet. And this is in English with Hindi translation. So let me know if everything is working okay. It's actually tea time here, or at least beginning of tea time. And wanted to share this aspect of time as told by one comedian, Woody Allen. He said, eternity is an awful long time, especially towards the end. Such an interesting subject with paradoxes. I can see someone is joining from India, and I know others on the call are from Canada and New York and UK. Also, I think we're joined by Netherlands. Yeah, so very nice. Pakistan. So looking forward to this discussion and your questions. So welcome to Brother Prashant. Over to you.
Thank you, and hello, and appreciate your interest. The request came from those who had read the book In Search of Truth, and there is reference to the cyclical time in that, and it is discussed in a certain way. But I can also understand it is an abstract subject and needs explanation. So we will come to that subject directly, and also an opportunity. This hour is an opportunity for you to ask questions, get it clarified. I will be using the whiteboard, and let us build these ideas. What we hear in knowledge, we hear that we have a home, we are souls in the home, and then we come in the physical world. If we call it a stage, and we come on this stage, we spend 5,000 years on this stage, and then we go back. This is a simple model. We take 84 births, many births here on the stage, and time comes, we go back to our home. There are details about our births, and the big question arises: is this our journey of 5,000 years, and how does that fit in with the Big Bang and evolution and the models that we hear in the university? How does that fit in? Not everyone can be right, so we have to at least have rational understanding how these ideas arise from and how they are possible, how is this possible. In science, there is something called basic premise. And what it says, any thing that we hear in science, it is always based upon some premise. Like, for example, I say what I'm seeing here, the green grass. It is a very science statement. If I say I'm seeing a green grass, it is a statement, but it is based upon the premise that my eyes are seeing the green color, and someone else's eyes are also seeing the same color. It may be that what they are seeing is completely different, and which we cannot verify, but we accept that, okay, what we are, it is a premise. We start with the premise. Possibly we are seeing the same thing, and now let us proceed further. So there is always a premise, and even if that premise is, it is not a premise anymore. You find it right or wrong, it is based on another premise. So we can't beat this premise. And even Stephen Hawking was asked, he talks about astronomy and wonderful things of what is happening in the universe. And he's asked, is it possible your premise, basic premise in science itself is wrong? And no one can say that it is not wrong. If someone says it is not wrong, then he is not a scientist, because premise by definition means we do not know. We can't show that in the laboratory. That's why it is a premise. And so the discussion today is coming to that level. We are questioning the premise that is there in science. So feel free. I like the discussion all along. We are going to talk is the model that is these are the ideas Baba speaks of, and that's what we hear. What Baba tells us is that we are watching a film, and this is what we are going to discuss today. That we come here in the physical world, and we go through this 5,000-year journey, and this 5,000-year journey is a 5,000-year long film. Film starts at a certain point and film ends at a certain point. This is all. What we are going to speaking is this. We'll go into some details about this. So there is a time, it is a golden aged plots that we are watching, and then there are silver age plots that we watch, and then copper age plots. It's a film. We hear this sentence, in the Murlis. And this is where science is at odds. Science doesn't see it as a film. And so the premise, how this world exists, that itself we are questioning. And that is where we can win the ground. If we tell people from science audience that this is a 5,000 year, they say, what, 5,000? It is billions of years. Big Bang started billions of years ago. So how it is 5,000 years? And if we try to explain to them in their model how it is, then we have lost the ground already, because it doesn't add up. We have the option to argue on the premise, and the premise that this is a film, they cannot prove it wrong. In fact, any model of science is likely to be a right model if it explains more observed phenomena. Say someone says, that there is a law of gravity, and that if you observe 10 observed phenomena and it all works in all these cases, then it is likely to be true. More observed phenomena, they can be explained within that principle or law that you are proposing, then it is likely to be true. If it doesn't explain, then it is less likely to be true. So our present model actually doesn't explain lots of things. And then what is not explained, we call them paranormal, and put it in a box called paranormal, and as you get on with it. But here we are, when we are talking of it as a film, we can explain more phenomena which are apparently in the other model, they are paranormal. Yeah, let me hear some thoughts from you. Want to hear how we are getting on, and then we'll go further.
Okay, thank you. So we've gone straight into a question in the chat about Baba's knowledge challenges the theory of evolution. We never evolved from apes or other Homo sapiens species. By now, all apes would have been changing to humans. We still see apes in the forest. Have they stopped evolving?
Yeah. We are not going into that at the moment. Well, yeah, thank you for that comment, but we'll go further. Any other thoughts?
Yeah, I appreciate the building of the topic, the basic premise, which everyone is taking, and we make an argument based on that. We are using a model. This model explains more observed phenomena. And so I guess some of the paranormal things we will be able to explain with the film idea. So it appears questions connected to what you've shared so far. Yeah.
Sure. So let us go further. And good for us to know that the science, the institution of science, institution of philosophy, and institution of religions, they all try to understand about creation. Where did this universe come from? These questions are there, and they are all grappling with it. Institutions of philosophy, of science, that they all are proposing different ideas, different how it possibly happened, that is proposals. But bottom line, if you ask them, there are many theories, and they teach in the universities how this one universe came about. You ask them, you ask the authorities in their field, are you sure that this is the way the universe exists, is created? And if they are authorities in that field, their answer will be don't know. That will be their answer. These are nice theories. They can be very attached to their theories, and they can be fanatics also. But bottom line, they will say they don't know. So this is the way but they are teaching in the universities, and they may be teaching as if this is the way the things are, as if it is a fact. That is the limitation of our education. There was one history professor in Cambridge, and I used to see him. This is many years ago as a patient. And once I asked him, do you have a concept of cyclical time in history? And he said, when the new students come, he did not answer it directly, but he said, when the new students come, I ask them a question, can we know history? And the students answer because they have got A grades, and they know the dates and numbers. So they say, of course, we can know history. And he tells them that we can't know history. What they are going to learn are theories and stories of history. We can never know. This is what history professor in Cambridge, he's making this statement. We got one quantum physicist, and his name is Julian Barber. He's based in Oxford. I don't suggest you go to buy his book, but you can read about him in the internet. Julian Barber is a cosmologist, and his book is called The End of Time. And what he is proposing in this book is that as a scientist, I can say bones exist, stones exist. If I see them, I can make this statement. Bones exist here, stones exist here, fossils exist here. But based upon what I'm seeing in the present, I cannot say anything about the past. It is a projection, and it is not necessarily likely to be true. He says, well, as a scientist, we can make a statement. The fossils are here today, and the bones are here today, and the stones are here, and anything. He says anything other than that is a projection, and it is my belief. It is just like anyone else. Religions. It is not necessarily the way things are. Book itself is called The End of Time. And by his thinking, all history is irrelevant what we are teaching. We can never know. Most of it is based upon what we are seeing in the present. Because in quantum physics, there is a principle of uncertainty. And this is very clearly seen at subatomic particles at that level. But he shows by that book is full of equations and physics, and mathematics. But he shows how that principle applies to the physical world. He calls his thinking is like Copernicus thinking. In time, it will become very obvious for people. But now he's introducing this concept, end of time. Anything you would like to add? Say, but based on what we are talking, would like to hear. Feel free. I want more interaction, but based on what we are talking.
You talk about the one set model. Is that something you're going to share? Because the idea that things evolve with one set of material, that we see evolution, this is different.
Sure. So let us come to that one set model. And this is the way our present thinking is. And what is the thinking? At one time, say here is a notebook. And this was the same notebook we saw yesterday. And it is the same notebook I will see tomorrow. It might get a bit rough and it might, lose some pages, but it is the same notebook that we are going to see. In the same way, in this one set model, at one time, there was this matter, and that same matter continued. It became galaxies and different stars and planet Earth there, and within that, human race evolved, and human race, they got a brain and they started talking and thinking. It is all same matter. It all started with infinite energy at one time, and then it same energy matter, it has changed, and it has created this present universe. And in this present universe, there is a human being with a brain, and it is all chemical reactions. Right now I'm talking, it is because there is some chemical reaction going on, and I come out with these ideas. If I was to have some coffee in the morning, reactions would have been different. I would speak something differently.
You're sharing the present scientific model at the moment, yeah? The one set.
Yeah,
it's not the model, okay.
Yeah, one set model is present model. But not just science. This is the way our world is. World believes like this. This is the same world that we saw yesterday. It is continuing today. It has changed some form. It's the same body that we saw last month. It is the same body that is continuing today. It has got a bit older. So that is the way it is. It is the same set of matter, that is changing its shape, size. That is the model. Now, in this model, they can't explain many things. For example, there are people who can tell you the future, what is going to happen in the future. They can, and it is proved under laboratory conditions. People have done experiments, and there are people who are clairvoyant. They sit, they take part in the experiment. They tell you where Richard will be at 7 o'clock today. Richard himself doesn't know where he will be. In experimental conditions, he is given a set of cards. He picks up a card and he goes to that place, a bit like that. And at 7 o'clock, 7 p.m., he's exactly the place where this clairvoyant had told where he will be. This kind of experiments are set up, and people can see in the future. People get dreams, and they know what is to happen in a near future with precise details. I have come across people who said she saw one red car meeting with an accident with a white car at a certain spot, and 2 days later, that is what happened. So this model cannot explain it, how it is possible. They say it is chance, it is permutation, combination, but there are many things, as we said, and they use the box called paranormal and then put it in that box. This is a premise, one set model. It is a premise, and as was said, since it cannot explain many things, that premise is likely to be not the right premise. What is the other premise we are talking about? Our other premise is that film model. And in film model, when you are watching a film, there are slides that you see. If you are watching a film, on a television, there are 23 slides projected on the screen per second. And there are many, many slides. And if the slides are shown at a certain speed, we give it continuity. Those slides are independent slides. But it appears as if the same world, but at a practical level, there are separate slides. Say if you are watching James Bond running with a gun, you are seeing it on the screen. It appears really the James Bond going on this. You don't really think there are slides behind it. But there are hundreds of slides going through that projector at a certain speed. And that's why you see in the film. This model is the same, that this world is made up of these slides. And there are infinite slides. All possible possibilities exist in these slides. Difference between one slide and the other slide can be minute. Infinite means this. Like the rest of this, we are talking about the whole universe is in this slide. In each of this slide, whole universe is there. But it is static. Slide means static. Three-dimensional slide. And this is another slide, and this is another slide. Minute differences in them. Like in one slide, my hand is like this. Next slide, it has moved a little bit. Third slide, it has moved a little bit. That is the way the universe exists in this model. So it is not one set, but it is infinite sets, infinite universes. And now, who is watching this? The one who is watching this is the invisible soul. Invisible soul is the audience. And he's passing through these slides at a certain speed. And as he's passing through these slides, he's watching the film. He's just like when the slides go past him to the projector, or he's going through the slides, it is the same thing. So he's passing through these slides, he's watching this, and he, in the process, he's experiencing it. He gives continuity to it. It appears like a film. So far, so good. It is okay. Maybe we'll ask Ananya, if Ananya is with us, if she can come in the sound, and if you want to add anything or say anything. What are the questions that come from your friends? I would like to hear that.
While Ananya is maybe getting organized, in the chat, which just shared, deja vu phenomena can be explained on this basis. And yeah, I was thinking of also in India, you hear about these stories of manifesting an object. So that's other phenomena. Yeah.
Oh, we will be coming there. Yes. So here, and let us say we are showing here the supreme home, and in the home, all this audience is in the home. All the souls are in the home. There is no experience, in the home. It's just like if you are in the theater, you watch the film. If you are at home, you are not watching the film. Same thing happens here. We are in our home. There is no film. There is no experience. What is below this line is world full of and these stills. When we are showing these squares, we use the word stills for this. Each one is a still, bit like saying slide. And below this red line is a world of stills, infinite stills. All possible possibilities exist in these stills. Now the journey starts. The soul comes from our supreme home. It comes in the physical world. And then the journey starts. And the experience starts. And what he is doing really is experiencing different slides. And there comes a time he reaches this point, let us say. Different slides he has seen. At this point, the slides are changing. As the inner uh, constitution of the soul is changing. At one time, the soul was 100% soul conscious. Now it is changing. He is not 100% soul conscious. The body consciousness is winning. The ego has started coming in. Ravan's department has started. So these inner factors doesn't make him eligible for the slides that he experienced all this time. And that is why he doesn't deserve the same experience as the inner state changes. That's why comes a time his experience moves to another track. just a journey changing, that's all. And film continues, just like in a film when you are watching, there is cut phenomena. You may be watching James Bond, and suddenly there is no James Bond. Something, another scene you see. Some helicopter somewhere else, no Casino Royale anymore. A scene in the that is cut. Something finishes and another different slide, different scene starts. Something like that happens. You are watching a different track here, different experiences, copper age, iron age experiences. This is the journey at a physical level. All along, we are watching different slides. And there is continuity, even though I have shown here a little bit discontinuity. It is just to show that we are moving from one set of stills to another set of stills. If you are watching James Bond in Casino Royale and the next scene is somewhere else, film continues. There is no gap there. Film moves in the next second is different scene. But what you are watching is different. Something similar happens at the end of the Silver Age, and there is a confluence at that time. Something similar happening at this point, end of the Iron Age. There is a confluence. And now that they have reached here, this is the time when we are experiencing Iron Age stills, but internally our constitution, the soul constitution, is becoming more and more tamopradhan, heavily body conscious and vices. For this kind of constitution, the next scene is destruction and uninhabitable stills. That's the next scene, next journey. And this kind of life will force souls to live this uninhabitable. That means they cannot exist at a physical level, and they have to drop either through pain or through wisdom and go back home. What we are essentially saying here is the souls who are like the experiencers. We are watching these different slides as we go along. Yeah, you want to add anything? Say anything?
So welcome to share. I would maybe from here that it makes more sense of the confluence age now, but also silver to copper age, that we don't see material evidence of golden age when the track is copper age. Also, in this world of climate change, Krishna is not going to take birth when there's global warming, but yet there is a confluence. So I don't know if that's something you want to expand on at this point.
Yeah, I would like to, but maybe I'll come to it a little later.
Sure.
If the concept is, any questions on the concept itself, want to hear.
The moment comments are giving the image like a flip book, and just like each individual image, but when you open the flip book, it appears to be moving.
Yeah.
And there are no questions right now, although someone has said we do have questions, but not right now. I don't have any. I think they want to come into sound, but would you prefer?
Yeah, but wanted to, is Ananya with us? And if Ananya would like to share, and it was her request on this subject. In which area you would like more to be clear about?
Ananya is co-host, so she can come into sound when you can, would be great. One question, if there is a concept of cut phenomena, why is returning home necessary? It could just be a simple transfer.
Film has a duration, just like any other film we watch. We watch the film, and there comes a time we leave the theater. We don't want to be in the theater for forever. We come back home. Home is our world. Film is not our world.
Someone's
Now,
asking.
mhm.
Should we change emotion when the slide or scene changes? If you understand the question.
It is not that much in our hand. The film is going on. Most important thing for us is at the moment we are mixed with the film. We don't even know that this invisible audience exists even. That is a big confusion. We are watching the film, and the audience start thinking he's the James Bond. It is this level of confusion that we are in at the present time. And the invisible observer need to become conscious first and know that he exists and the film is a separate thing.
And this might answer the question whether Ravan is part of the drama.
Film is a very neutral thing. Film, and when you are watching a film, any film is very neutral. It may show some dragons even, it may show, but the answer is not to go and burn that film, because film is neutral. But audience is the one that can go into confusion. Audience goes into ignorance. Audience can create attachments. Audience gets angry. So Ravan is very much in the audience, phenomena in the audience, not part of the film.
Can we change our karmic slides?
Yeah, any change happens if we bring clarity in ourselves and we understand we exist at this moment. This invisible audience, who is the invisible soul, he exists. And Prashant is talking about all this, but Prashant is truly part of the film. This is happening in the film. We are watching all this. This is the way the script is, and Prashant is talking about Atma, Paramatma. It is going on. That is according to the script. And the soul is watching this. He may be conscious, not conscious, in clarity, confused, but there is a soul accompanying this film.
How is the film shot and when?
Film is eternal. Film has always been there. and the souls are, audience is eternal. It is just they coming into the experience. Every experience has a beginning and an end. Otherwise, the matter is eternal and experiencers are immortal. Each slide is eternal. Just the experience has a beginning and an end.
Can we evoke only winning slides?
Say it again.
Can we evoke only, someone said, winning slides, slides that are in our favor?
As was said, slides are neutral, and that our every slide is a gift for us. Golden Age slide, Iron Age slide, whole scene is a variety gift. Everything is wonderful. Just our attitude, that is all that needs purification. We need to win at that level, our attitude.
You said through pain or wisdom, the soul will leave. How about souls who are still in deep sleep?
Yeah, those who are in deep sleep, they wake up if there is pain. The pain ultimately awakens everyone.
Why do we take birth and rebirth again and again? Is there an option to not be part of the film?
Is there an option not to be part of the film? In theory, maybe. One philosopher, he says, there are those who don't come here. It is a philosopher, not Baba doesn't say this. A philosopher says there are those who don't come here on the stage, don't come into action. They are in the home. They don't ask the question why we are here, why we come in the birth and rebirth. Only those who choose to come here, they are the ones who ask the question. That is philosophers, argument. But Baba's position is every one, only when you come into action, that then you know you exist. If there is a musician and he has never used any music, never used a musical instrument, he's a musician, then will you call him a musician? No one has heard music, he has never used a musical instrument. Does he exist or does he doesn't exist? Same here. Each one is a great performer. He's extraordinary, each and every one. But if they were just in the home, then there is no, he himself doesn't know that he exists and what talents he has got, what skills he has got. He cannot experience them. He experiences them when he comes in the in this physical level. To come in the physical level is not a sin. What we are questioning is becoming confused and then creating bondages there. That is what we are questioning. We don't need to get trapped in it.
Do we need to be conscious about playing a good part because it's fixed? So what is the why to pay attention when the activity is fixed?
The real attention we need to have is to become free. Mukti, Jivan Mukti, Karmatit, all these words, salvation, all means freedom. We are so confused and we are trapped into this film. We don't even know that it is a film, and we don't even know who we are. That is the We don't know the boundary. We have lost the boundary altogether. So to become free is our big achievement.
The follow-up was, sorry.
Yeah, soul wakes up and he understands that, just like if you are watching a James Bond film, you understand that the James Bond film, there may be fire there, they may be fighting, but that is a film and you are free from it. That film cannot harm you even the slightest. If you can feel the same with this film that we are watching in front of us, and there is fire where Prashant is here, there is fire and Prashant is going to die. And at that time, if the soul can see it as a film, then it means he is free. And we need to bring ourselves to that level of freedom. If I am getting affected by the film, it means there is a bondage. It can be fire and it can be whatever, death. And if it is disturbing me, it means there is a bondage.
Couple of questions. If it's fixed, then why worry about Ravan? Why try to change? Why make spiritual effort? Is it we suffer as an experiencer? The bondage is okay, film is fixed, but with bondage we give it life.
Yeah, sure. What happens is, say film is fixed. You are watching a film. What is there is 1 hour long film on the screen. That is fixed. But what the audience is going to feel and the confusion of the audience or enjoyment of the audience, that is not part of the film. That is not fixed. If the one person in the audience is screaming and crying, then his mother need to explain to him that that is a film and don't worry about the dragon. Mother has to create clarity so that he doesn't suffer unnecessarily. Same here. And it is a film, but attitudes of the audience can be so confused and so mixed up that the audience need to be explained what is happening. Ravan just means fully confused perspective. That is what Ravan is. Embodiment of ignorance. And so you bring clarity and then you can enjoy the film also. Enjoy your whole existence. Just because film is fixed, it doesn't mean I should sit there and spend my time in ignorance. Ravan means ignorance. We should come out of it as quickly as possible.
That's helpful. So what is going on in the mind is not fixed. So there is the room to make the effort. Yeah. So there aren't any other questions right now.
Yes.
You were going to talk about uninhabitable stills and the confluence.
Yeah. And then I want to mention that we hear about 5,000 year duration of this drama. Ordinarily, if it is in the one set model, they say from Big Bang to the present time, it has been some more than 13 billion years. And and you 5,000 years, they say, what 5,000 years? And that is like a completely, you are sort of believing in something that no one can understand. But when you are understanding a film, say I could be watching a film of 1 hour duration. Yeah. So here is a film in the theater. I'm showing here the screen, so you are watching a film. In the film, your film duration is just 1 hour. But during that 1 hour, you are seeing people there on the screen. They appear 80 years of age. The houses there, they appear to be 100 years old. There are some palaces. To just build those palaces, it will take 20 years. And the film is just of 1 hour. Understand? So, if you are understanding it as a film, then you accept it because each slide has its own uniqueness, and you watch the show and you finish watching and you come home. It is a 1 hour slide. But if you are mixed, you are watching that film with the other model, then you will be very confused. Let me give an example, some very simple example. Let us say in the year 1672 AD, in your university, let us say in the Oxford University, in the Oxford city, you are showing them a film. Imagine, you are showing them a film. No one knows about film technology. No one has ever watched a film. And it is the first time you are showing them a film. James Bond film. You are showing them. And people are a bit amused. They're watching this in color, James Bond film they're watching on the screen. And they are amused. And whilst the film is going on, two professors walk in. Two professors come in that theater. And they are also watching the film. And after half an hour, you ask them, for how long has this been going on, you think? You ask them, how long this film has been going on? That film has started just half an hour ago altogether. And now you are asking them, they are professors. I mean, they are clever, they are intelligent, they know the numbers and all. So one professor will say, this film must be at least 80 years old. It is his thinking. 80 years. It must have been at least 80 years. You say, why? He says, look at the beard of that person. That beard is so long. Beard grows at the speed of 0.3 millimeter per. He knows the exact, the details, and by this calculation, it has to be 80 years because it is 2 feet long beard, and everything is right. And his numbers by this calculation are absolutely right. But what has gone wrong? You tell me what has gone wrong. His calculation is right. But his answer is wrong. Why? What has gone wrong?
They're giving continuity, thinking they think that everything that you see has to happen over a certain length of time, using stone intellect, someone is saying, forgetting it's a film. They don't know about cut phenomena. Unit of measurement.
In other words, he is seeing it in this model. He's still seeing it. He doesn't know the film. You know what you said is right. He doesn't know the film. He's operating with the one set model. He thinks everything has, since beard is of 2 feet old, it can't happen within 1 hour. So his thinking is at another level. His basic premise is different, and so you tell him it is 1 hour long film. He says, no, it is impossible. Just see the beard, see the buildings there. Those buildings appear 200 years old, but you could see the measurement, see the statistics, see what speed the beard grows, and how can it be 1 hour long? So the problem is the basic premise. Someone is operating in that basic premise of that kind and is stuck at that level, then you will not be able to explain to them about this. Same thing with all carbon dating and everything that we are seeing in this world. It is based upon the one set model. And that is the way they think, that is the way it exists. But when you are understanding this world itself exists as a film, you can't use the carbon dating principles in this. You can't use the Oxford professor's principle when you are watching the film. You have to understand differently. And then it makes sense. Okay, this film is just started half an hour ago and total duration is just 1 hour. Okay, that's no problem. And it has got different plots, different scenes. You are now understanding, making sense. It is film, and many things are possible in a film. So here in this film, and if someone was to be asked, how long, if you were to ask me, how long is the duration of this film? I can't really tell you. And honest, I cannot tell that this film is 5,000 years or 4,000 years, or I cannot tell anything. I can only know that present exists, and I know my experiences of this life. Beyond that, I cannot really tell. Only the producer, director, he can know. The creator, he can know the duration of the film. He can know when it started, when it is going to finish. Beginning, middle, end, we have to rely upon the creator, director. And so also here, the Oxford professors, they can't tell, as we said. Cambridge professors may be slightly different. At least they say we can't tell. At least they say like this: we can't know the history. But here we have to rely upon the producer, what he tells. Happy to hear any other questions. And some questions they will come from students to you also, and these are useful. You can answer them in this model more easily.
Who are we in this movie? Someone replied, actor and viewer, both at the same time. Is that, you would agree with that?
We are actors and
viewers at the same time.
Yeah, we are observers and the souls. And when we say this is a film, soul is more of the observer. And we are uh, we are the detached observers of this film. We are the audience. But actor, good enough. But in the model of the film, audience is the more accurate word.
What is important about these slides, apart from it being a fixed film or drama or entertainment, enjoyment?
I
Is
missed.
there any, is there any other meaning to these slides apart from the entertainment value?
The whole of this, it is expression. Just like there is a seed and there is a tree. If there was just seed, no tree, then it is incomplete. And the tree comes, flowers come, fragrance comes. That is the whole point of the seed. But if there is no seed, that is also incomplete. So here also, this there is this seed reality. What we are seeing in that red, that is the seed reality of this universe. And then there is the full expression. All these souls, they come, and what an amazing, rich performance. Every second, so much going on, so many experiences. And these souls coming out with their talents and music and art and sport, and what amazing, technology and Zoom and all this. This is all expression of these souls. And then we come back into the seed again. So it is good. I feel it is a extraordinary creator and creation. It is positive. We don't want to claim it. When Ravan comes in, he wants to claim it. He says, "Can I take this? A bit of a branch of this tree, run." Now here we just see the wonder of the whole thing as it is. Everything is okay, and we are quite happy to see the next scene and next scene.
Raven, just to clarify, someone is asking, is just a state of perspective influenced by some drama scenes? So just the caution is not to go into the sleep state. The aim is to be the viewer, the awakened soul. Is that correct?
Sorry about this. I missed some words. Give me 1 second. I just want to. Yeah, do you want to repeat?
Just to clarify, understanding that Raven is just a perspective upon this film, and the caution is not to go to sleep and to view it as an awakened soul. Did you hear?
Yeah, perfect. Very good.
Sometimes the film doesn't feel entertaining if the co-actors make the film seem troublesome for the actor. From the inside, the actor wants the film to finish quickly, as the film seems useless, and many co-actors are not very good at heart. Do we just have to wait for the film to finish?
What really happens is when we are free from confusion, then everything is wonderful. Every moment is great, and to come is nice, to go back is nice, and silence is nice, noise is also wonderful. Variety. There is no real problem with anything when we are out of this bondage and out of confusion. When we come into bondage, then the complication, our attitudes change. we start liking something, disliking something, that factor comes. We want things to finish, but he's not happy with finishing either. He wants something else, and his mind keeps changing. But your answer to your question, we need to step back and do that step, take that step of letting go of our attachments, become the true audience, taking steps towards the karmatit stage.
So does the film change the parts? So for example, do we play the same parts in the next cycle?
In the model that we study, it is the same film, same part, identical repetition. It's the best of the possible worlds. Everything is just right. Even the parts that we receive, they're just right. It is not that when we become soul conscious, we have no complaint about the parts also. It is variety. It is not the same as anyone else. The first prize is the supreme home. That is the first prize, supreme. And everyone gets the first prize. When we come in the theater, if we are soul conscious, we enjoy the plot, not my part. The golden age, for example, they enjoy the plot. They don't say, I need to be there, and if someone else feels he needs to be here. No, they all enjoy the part. It's like orchestra. You enjoy the whole music. You don't say, I need to be making some other instrument. In the Iron Age, they are so confused. Everyone wants something else. But drama still continues. It is very rich drama, but they can't enjoy it. They can't see the whole plot. They are so caught up in me, my part.
Sometimes our students ask, why did we come in this film if we have to go through sorrow? Which you did partially answer, but if there's any more elaboration to explain about coming in the film, that we, in a way, we choose that.
Yeah, one nice position there. We are players, and any player, he wants a home. Everyone wants a home, but he also wants a field where he wants to go and play. If you tell a player, very nice home, but no place to play, he won't think it is the best deal. He wants the place where he can play. Same thing here also. We need a home. We also need a place to express and experience. This, as we are often saying, this way the things are, it's perfect. We just need to see it the right way up. Everything is the best. We all got a great deal. We got a great home, supreme reality, God and immortality, and the extraordinary gift of this drama, variety drama. Things are good. We just need to see it the right way up.
Yeah, I think you've answered another query. If I'm not happy with my part, should I focus on changing it or accept it as it is and continue suffering as it is.
Yeah, as was said. And sometimes signals come in the drama, and those signals are telling me in what way to change. And the bottom line is we just need to step back and become that invisible audience. It is literally becoming zero. That is the game. Zero in connection to the film. I don't own anything in the film. Just to let go and experimenting with minutes, then it will continue to increase. I want to add a few words connected with this model and psychic phenomena, miracles. How do they happen? What is observed in the parapsychology? How to explain this? How to touch this? After that, we can come to more questions.
Yes, that would be good.
We said that we can if we can explain more of the observed phenomena, then that model is more likely to be true. We said one set model that doesn't explain. It says it never exists. Like, for example, there is recently I came across one article where one person, he can ride a motorbike with eyes closed, and the scientists, they put a bandage around him, put metal plates in front of his eyes, and he rides motorbikes in a busy street, rides motorbikes, safely comes back. He can read the letters written and kept behind him. He can tell you. They do one experiment, they do another experiment, but never admit that it is happening. They say he's possibly seeing it from below there is something. It is like a strange, but they don't admit that it is possible for him to read without using the ordinary eyes. And what is the explanation, our explanation for this? He has learned how to become bodiless. He has learned to step out of the body. It is just what he's experiencing. It's just out of body experiences. Many other people, they get random out of body experience. He gets this out of body experience at will. They can choose to be out of body. So that is what is happening. Now, clairvoyance and seeing the future, how does that happen? And these are the souls who have the ability to step out. That is what is unique about all these people. In the case that I told you, it is the same thing. But in these cases, they can leave the body, step out of the body, and as if they can go further down the timeline, almost like fast forwarding the film, see what is happening down the line, come and tell you what is to happen. So they do come back and they tell you what they saw is happening. Nostradamus, he almost told what was going to happen over the next 500 years, in different, with precise details. He told at that time. In the main events, he told, sometimes with exact numbers also. 500 men will attack Palace of Tiles. 187 years before Palace of Tiles was built, and 500 men did attack the Palace of Tiles. So he is able to see things and come back and tell what he saw. Man will walk on Luna, Nostradamus told us. This, he was born in 1490s. Can you imagine? At that time, he talks about man will walk on Luna, on the moon. So, yeah, that is one phenomenon. Miracles. How do miracles happen? Scientists, they will say it doesn't happen. It is different tricks, but miracles don't happen. Like here, how do you explain these miracles? Like there are some miracle men, you may get in different countries who can perform a miracle. They are not trying to impress people with magic, but they, if they want, they can do some miracle. So in this, we have seen the journey of the souls, and all the souls, all these billions of souls, we all are traveling in the same track. That's why it is the same reality for us. Someone is dreaming, that time he wanders off into other stills. Someone going into trance message, trance experiences, they are going into other experiences. But even if they go into other experiences, they are pulled back. There is the main gravity where all the 8 billion souls are traveling, psychic gravity that pulls us back. They go into dream experiences or trance experiences, but they all come back. But these miracle men, they are having power. They are likely to be new souls. So there is a power, and power means they have got less body consciousness. They are less in bondage. And what they can do, they can go into other stills. Like I know a person who used to be with one of these miracle men in India, and he would ask him, "What gift do you want?" And he would tell what I want, some kind of a wristwatch, and he would give him. He would just and what is to happen? He can go into the still where there is a wristwatch. And okay, many others can do that, imagine and go into that world, but they can't take 8 billion souls into that track. Whereas these miracle men, they being having power, spiritual power, they can take the rest of the 8 billion souls into that track. And then the track continues. Then he got a wristwatch, for the rest of his life. And that is the way it happens. That explains how the so-called miracles happen with some people. There are some who can just bend metal and things like that. Even that is miracle, and it is the same phenomena. They have power to influence the journey of the of the souls. They are as if in the driver's seat. Those who are new souls, they have power. They are in the driver's seat. Karthik, I saw Karthik's name. What is?
Yes, he had a question in the chat, and he's happy to come into sound also. Shall we hear from Kartik? Or I can read out the question.
Yeah, you can read.
Okay, I'll first read, and then when you were talking about the parapsychic who went to Baba's meeting, but couldn't recognize Baba. Is he soul conscious really? He's someone who could read letters blindfolded.
So he couldn't recognize Baba, you said?
Apparently.
Yes, Karthik met this person. I wrote something and uh, got a practical demonstration that it was really like blindfolded,
Sure, sure.
etc. So, and when the conversation happened, he mentioned about Mount Abu and Baba Milan. Yes, so
So,
yeah, he wasn't able to recognize Baba. That's what when I
so what is the
asked.
question?
I was wondering if such souls have that ability to become uh, a shariri, like you mentioned, a bodiless. How come they can't recognize uh, Baba? Uh,
No, to recognize Baba is a different game altogether. You don't need to be um, bodiless or out of body experience. And, these are new souls who are getting these experiences and who are able to do these things. Those who recognize Baba, they have to be the deity souls.
what is the factor to recognize Baba then? Because the understanding was
They need
there
it.
is some seed
They
of soul
dig deep
consciousness.
inside, because old souls, they have a different need. They want to come out of this burden and heaviness. The first day they are not getting the bodiless experiences, but they recognize because something resonates, a memory of the 5,000 years ago, different reasons. Becoming out, having out of body experience doesn't mean soul conscious. Many people get out of body experiences, and these people consciously do this, but they do it for body conscious reasons. They demonstrate it. They want to get some material gains for it through that.
Is past life regression practice also just the activity of going into past slides?
Yeah.
Easy. In the confluent sage, Baba says Brahmins are in the driver's seat, meaning they will change the direction of the herd. But Baba is the real leader. In what way are the new souls, such as the miracle men and women, souls, in the driver's seat? And how
Yeah.
do they benefit mankind by changing the track?
Yeah. Brahmins are not in the driver's seat at the moment, but as they follow the method that is practiced, as they become free from the burden and bondages, that is the main thing. They have to become free from the bondages and attachments and ego. Then they will be in the driver's seat, and they bring about the biggest magic. They will take all the souls, billions of them, back home, and they will come into the slides of the golden age. These miracle men, they are not able to bring about the shift to heaven. They can create a little thing, bend metal or something like this, but they can't create heaven. But these Brahmins who bring about the total purification in themselves, those who are able to do this, those who become authentic in that transformation, become zero. In connection with the story, their bondages are zero. They are in the driver's seat. They will be, and they contribute immensely to the human race.
That really helps. It's very nice. Thank you for the question. Earlier, there was a comment question that it's not just about being happy with the part and the drama scenes, because that could be a further royal bondage. Is that not right? So in a way, this clarifies what is really the knowledge and the power and what is needed. Any comments? I can read it. So the game, someone wrote the game, it's to be detached rather than just settling for being happy with the part and the drama scenes, which could be another bondage.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Someone asked, yeah, because someone asked face reading, handwriting reading, tarot, or does it fall into the same category of this phenomena? You're talking about clairvoyance.
I don't know any of these things. I know there could be some other tricks also, but anything authentic. If there is a real psychic phenomena, you will find there is an explanation of that in the model of the stills.
Someone is asking, how do you see Madhaban in this context of the film? Madhaban is part of the film, but how do you see the significance, perhaps, of Madhaban?
Madhaban is part of the film. In what way? What is the raz of the question?
We'd have to ask for a bit more information, but significance, purpose, perhaps.
The real Madhaban is each Brahmin on this planet is part of Madhaban. Each time you are making accurate effort, you are contributing to the shift. It is not just that little land that is having some magic. It is the individuals, souls who are contributing to the magic.
And the follow-up is, should we visit Madhaban again and again? Is there progress in that?
We like to discuss. Each one has to discuss with the instruments. Not part of the discussion of cyclic time.
True. Maybe a quick question and then a nice one about, I know we've all pretty much come to time. You mentioned out-of-body experiences. Is this something we do in Raj Yoga? That's when we go to our home? Any quick comments?
And what is happening in those out-of-body experiences? They are not conscious. They find themselves separate from the body, and sometimes they are a bit worried about these experiences, but then they find they can come back. They see the body from outside. Our practice is becoming soul conscious. It is not, we don't have to separate from the body, but becoming soul conscious, which means the soul is thinking he's the body. He realizes that he exists, soul exists, here using the body. Bit like a driver has been thinking he is the car. It has been such a level of confusion. He understands he is the driver and he is using the car, but he is not part of the car. He is independent of the car. Just understanding this. He's still in the car, but he just need to know he exists and he has independent existence. Criticism of the car is not a criticism of the driver. And this driver has a home beyond just being sensible. That is our effort.
So, thank you for that. Hope that helps. Could you elaborate on the importance or how the subtle region fits into the model discussed?
Sure. In a subtle region and the soul world, we call them godly worlds. In a subtle region, soul world, and golden age. These three regions, we include them in our meditations. Just we avoid the iron age. And the reason is this world, iron-aged world, and things that we are seeing around, that is where it is also the field of action of Ravan. Ravan can Ravan can exist at that level. Like for example, anything, Ravan can claim things at this level, at a drama level. Whereas the soul world, Ravan cannot reach there. Subtle region, Ravan cannot reach there. And so every minute you are spending there, they are Ravan free minutes. Which is, these are precious minutes for the journey of the soul.
Thank you. Yes, so it's a big subject. There's probably no particular very clear way to conclude, but there is perhaps one question trying to make sense. Each slide will repeat 5,000 years later, but repeating patterns are also in the film. Like, yeah, we get to almost see the same things happening, almost the same type of people, situations. Is it a slide repeating or something is stuck?
Yeah, we are seeing the same slide again.
I think what she means is, you know, when we are caught in old sanskaras, we get the same test papers and we need to, once we have understanding and shift the posture, we don't get that kind of experience. That's one understanding of the question. Can we say subtle region is just put into the knowledge for better practice of detachment, but it doesn't really exist?
Baba said it is a region for visions. It is not a home, but a place for visions.
Okay, yeah, that helps. And also you mentioned dreams, which is very interesting. So as you said, this explains a lot of things which scientists cannot understand what is happening. So perhaps this is an opportunity to also reflect more, come up with more questions. Do you want any more questions, or when do you want to finish?
Okay, we can create another 5 minutes.
Okay, yeah. Okay, one question. Ravan is also prefixed. Question.
As we are saying here, film is fixed. If you are watching a film, that is fixed. Attitudes of the audience is not part of the film. It may be the same attitude as the last time, but when we say the film is fixed, the film is fixed. And that's why Baba's is, there is no free will about the film. But Baba says, don't do this, don't do that, stay in, don't go into ignorance. Baba is telling the audience to imbibe knowledge and change the attitudes.
Okay, that's fine. So if the awareness and experience is not fixed, then can we say the soul learns and improves in awareness every cycle?
He learns each time, yes.
But it doesn't improve the next cycle?
Each time he achieves perfection. And so once you have achieved perfection, there is not anything further to improve.
Yeah. That's interesting. It's definitely something that has probably helped all of us to move to the next level of journeying. And worth reviewing the recording, I think, because there's quite a lot in it. I think we've probably captured the questions here. But we can upload a video in Hindi, English, and perhaps create another opportunity. Is there anything final you would like to share?
No, that is very, very good. I appreciate your interest and your participation.
Yes, so there's still actually some last minute questions. Is it easy to be in an audience seat and be actor at the same time? Maybe that can be the last question.
That's what we do right now. Say we are involved, we are talking also, so we are in action, but also we are observing. We can't stop observing. We notice things, and we are the audience. Everyone is doing this all the time.
Yeah, the analogy of the film, we need to really go into the depth. And I liked what you said. We get the best of all possible possibilities. It just we need to wake up to see it, and that posture of the actor. Everything is fair and just, and we can't improve it, but we do need to be in the right posture. So thank you for the interaction, your presence. Thank you so much to Prashant. And we've put the link for the English recording in the chat. And those who are connected with the Sanjeevani Hindi team, we will be posting the link, I think, for the Hindi, or you'll get it from Team Sanjeevani. So we'll meet again. Enjoy your further experiments, and we'll be meeting the same time in 5,000 years. But I think before that also. Shanti.